that I'm in the process of making. So I thought I'd let you join me and we'll see how it progresses. I don't really expect to get that far in the 30 minutes or so I'll spend, but painting is not about getting far. It's about enjoying what you're doing. So, thank you for joining me. I'll chat from time to time. I'll answer questions. And let's do something nice and peaceful together. As you can see, no music. It'll take a while to build this up. I don't normally paint so delicately, but from time to time I do, and I like to. These are oil paints, and they're oil paints, and they are actually water-miscible, which means you can use water with them, and that's more to clean up, so they're non-toxic. And I'm really interested, as a long time meditator of well over 20 years now, and I've been teaching it for nearly that. I'm very interested in the boundary between art and meditation, because when I paint, it feels just like meditation, very similar. I can feel the brush move in the hand. Every stroke, it's just like feeling every breath. I want a slightly darker area. Is anyone watching? Oh, we do have people. Hello, Cheryl, how are you? That's lovely. Lovely to see you here. I'm really grateful that you've come along. How are you keeping? The boundary between art and meditation. When I paint, it feels just like meditation. Ah, right. I was wondering if you paint. When you said that, I was thinking maybe you paint. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Oh, bless you. I'm so glad you're on the planet too. This crazy place we all inhabit. That seems to be getting crazier. But maybe it's always been this way and we've just not been able to see it. the internet now, we know what's going on. So maybe it was all just well hidden. And everything will always be okay in the end. I don't say that in a sort of condescending way to minimize the suffering of others. I say it more as a deep understanding, a deep learning that it really is all the way. And I think that's what real faith is about, true faith. To trust that it's always going to be all right, no matter how dark things. There's something in us that is far beyond that, far beyond anything that's damaged, ever. I sometimes wish I could switch my hand round or paint perfectly left-handed to get in these corners. But let me try stretching across. That's not going to work, not while I've got the camera on. Let me do my best. Thank you. Edit Master. Ah, that's very kind of you to say. Scan 4978. Well, I'm a beginner. I'm a learner. I have been painting for years, but I'm always learning. Always. And I was speaking earlier about everything always being all right. But I do think the only thing that would bother me about leaving this earth prematurely would be that I've still got my art in me. I'm still not there. But there's nowhere to be. I don't know if you've heard of Hokusai. He was, from hundreds of years ago, he was a master, an art master. And he's said to be the grandfather. He gave birth to manga. And there's a lovely quote by him. And I probably won't remember it word for word. But it goes something like this. I will get parts of it wrong, forgive me, but I'll do my best to paraphrase it. Everything I've painted up to the age of 50, I had painted up to the age of 50, I could get the ages wrong here, hasn't been much good. By 60, I am just beginning to understand the form of things. By 70, I will be able to paint things as they are. By 80, by the time I'm 80, my work will come alive. When I'm 90, every line I draw will breathe. Anyway, something like that. I've got it totally wrong because but I know the sentiment of it, so I can only paraphrase. But what a quote. He's basically saying that by the time he's 100 and something, he goes on and on to him by the time I'm 110 or something like that. Every line I create, everything will move and breathe, something like that. I'm waffling because I don't know the right words. I've read it so many times, but it's quite a long quote to memorize. But he's basically saying that his art is going to be alive. And he's going to be more at one with it as he goes further down. Hi, Suns, I saw you. I'm not ignoring you. How are you? Thank you for the lovely song the other day that you sent me. I've been so crazy busy that I've been quite hard to get hold of. And I've not done much painting either. My freelancing has exploded. I'm insanely busy. And there I was thinking that I couldn't really survive without a 9-to-5 job. Well, 9 to 6 it was. And not only was it 9 to 6, it was endless commute. Crazy hours. But here I am, after being made redundant, alive and thriving. Oh, thank you. Well, your prayers were answered. Thank you. My favourite Monet painting. Ooh, I really like the organic stuff, like the lilies and everything. But I also really like Rouen Cathedral. What about yourself? One of my favourites is of the old ones is I really love Turner, from the old masters. And I also really love someone called John Singer Sargent. John Singer Sargent creates these strokes and they're so loose. And if you're to look at the strokes alone and close up, they're just like marks. And not very tidy, just messy marks. And you stand back and the whole thing comes alive. So there's some real mastery going on there. But I did read the other day that he actually made so many marks that he would just erase the ones that weren't right and just keep going over and over and over. So it looks like it's all spontaneous and the rest of it, but apparently he had to work over and over to get that. Something really interesting as well, there's a beautiful painting of two girls by the Thames. And you're obviously going back to way before cameras. And what I love about that painting is that he did it in this light, certain light. I think it was kind of just before sunset. But anyway, this light was the kind of light he needed, was only available for minutes. And he had to keep the models coming back over and over to recreate it, to get his models to sit, and they were children, to sit over and over. I think for probably months, or could even be years. But anyway, yes, I really love John Singer Sargent. It's possibly my favourite. What about you? Any artists that you admire? And I don't just mean you who asked the question. Any of you. What I've done as well, under this layer, there's transparent oxide yellow. So what that will do, as these layers build up, it will shine back through, hopefully, and create a luminescence, an internal light that radiates through. Wow, that sounds quite spiritual, doesn't it? I can hear every single sound. I can hear the traffic. I can even hear something it's called the sound of silence. And that's a sound that you hear as a meditator. Not always, and some people can't hear it. But there's a hum that's the background of the universe. My first guru, with him, his teaching was to listen to this. Then I moved into Buddhism, and I was blown away because it's not actually Buddhist teaching. It's closer aligned to Hinduism, and also a group called the Radha Swami, who were very closely related to Sikhism. But anyway, I was amazed when I started frequenting a Buddhist monastery. And the head monk, Ajahn Sumedho his name, started talking about this sound. And I was like, oh, that's what I used to meditate. And that's his whole thing. His main teaching is to move into this sound. And interestingly, this sound, it's been referred to as meditation-induced tinnitus. And when you hear this sound for the first time, especially if you're looking for it, as I was, you're blown away because you realize that sounds always been there, but you've learned to turn it off. So as you become more proficient in meditation, that's what happens. You see and hear things as they are. So I'm well and truly, at the moment, living the dream. I'm blessed, so thank you for your prayers. They certainly were answered. Don't put yourself through. Don't do what I did. Don't put yourself through something brutal, thinking that it's all you have. There aren't options. There's always options. As I paint these, I'll work back into them. These are going to be trees. And I think potentially autumn trees. Van Gogh. Bless you. Thank you so much. There's something really spiritual about painting. You're creating. What could be more spiritual than that? Creation. Bird song, puncturing the silence. This is actually an acrylic brush I'm using. Wasn't sure it was going to work, but I needed this size. And it's actually working beautifully. Yeah, burnout is real, folks, and you don't come back from it very easily. Your whole nervous system goes into fight or flight when it's put under prolonged work and pressure. It's not given time to assimilate life. And I thought I was immune from it. As a meditator, I thought I'm okay because I meditate. But no, I still ended up burnt out. You still have limits. Hello, Denise. How are you? How are you? Ah, got the whole family in today. Lovely to see you all. So I'm painting oils for anyone who's just joined. And they're water-miscible oils, which means you can mix them and clean up with water. Although it's not advised to use water as a medium, but they're called Cobra and they're artist quality. They're very good quality. So yeah, non-toxic. I use other oil as well, but this is how I started the oil journey because I heard all about the toxicity and everything and the fumes, but really I've been fine. There's so many low odor. Well, it's not actually just old odor. There's so many free, natural, should I say, solvents. There's one called Zested, and it's made from oranges. I will be, I released a meditation a day or two ago on here, and I will be releasing many more, but I've just had a little bit of a break from it. I needed it. The beauty of oils is if you don't like it, you can just start again. Like, look how contrived that is. So just, let's lose it. Let's start that again. Let's get some shape into that. And coming from years and years of watercolor being my main practice, it's so great. I should have moved over from watercolor a long time ago. I do like watercolor. It's fun. It's spontaneous. It's very wabi-sabi, but also it's unforgiving. And once you've blown a watercolor, there's no coming back from it. And I tend to overwork things. So it's very good to be working now with oils. Just feels, when you use oils, it just feels luxurious. But I do still mess around with watercolors. They're great fun now and then. Tried one the other day, and again, I built up this forest, and I was really happy with it. This sunlit forest. I was really happy with it. And then I just went and overdid it again. And I was like, no, that's it. You had your chance. I'm going back to oils. Another thing I intend to do with this painting thing I'm doing at the moment, these are not tutorials. I'm quite happy if anybody has questions to answer them if I can. But what they are is for people who are dysregulated, who want to calm down, who don't want to be looking at flashing lights online and constantly changing screens that really burn us out. So I'm providing something else here. I'm doing the thing I'd be doing anyway because I love it, painting, but I'm bringing you in and I'm talking to you. And hopefully helping you to stay away from the negative side of the internet, trying to bring a bit of light to it. And if you're new here, do try some of my meditations. I've got well over 100 on here now. Got absolutely loads of them. Just see if there's any questions. Burnout is real. Yeah. Yeah, it can take years to heal, you know. I still, from it, you see, while it's happening, you're not quite, you don't feel great, but your body gets used to it, and you can just keep going. Like I was surviving on about 4 hours sleep a night at one point. And yeah, I was. And my body kept going and I was fine. I knew I was tired, but I was so wired. The meditation probably helped too. But yeah, I could keep going. But when you stop, that's when the crash happens. Like when my redundancy hit, I'll give my eyes a rest. Okay, so I guess that's it for now. I'll just pop this off here and give you a closer look so you can see how it's going on. So that's going to be a burst of light through there from behind the clouds. And this is going to be fields, or it could be water, I'm not sure yet. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for watching. See you soon.